Guys, I had to make sure the lighting for this story time is perfect because I have to look you dead on in the face and tell you I was stupid. Welcome to my first story time, and I'm going to tell you the time I tripped. God almighty. So I woke up this morning and I saw that the Mitchell family have a story time about when they tripped, when they ate magic cake. So I'm going to tell you my experience with space cake. Oh my God, if my mom is watching this, please, I just wanted to experience. Just to make this clear, I'm not encouraging anybody to go and try space cake or try weed. It's just my experience I'm sharing with you. Okay, I really don't know where to start, but let me start from here. At the time I was a student, right? And I went to a conference in Amsterdam. And this conference, I won't call the name because I don't want to paint a bad reputation of the organization. But anyways, we know what Amsterdam is all about, you know. There is a rich culture, but there's also the back streets and the dark side to Amsterdam. Well, I was meeting up with some of my schoolmates from the Caribbean. I won't call their names because they're doing big things now and I don't want to get them in any trouble. So I was meeting up with them. I was studying here in Europe and they were coming over from the Caribbean. So you know that meetup, we're very excited and we had this 3 days of conference. And after the conference, we decided to celebrate. The night before I left Amsterdam, we decided to try space cake. Well, I wanted to try space cake. So my 3 friends from the Caribbean, they were, I can't remember if they were into it too much, but I decided, no, I cannot come to Amsterdam and not have space cake. So to me, it looked like a normal cupcake. It's a normal cupcake. There is nothing funny about it. It's packaged well. And I know what I was getting into. So, you know, in Amsterdam, it's legal. So there are many shops that offers this. I wanted to be in a safe space. So I wanted to be with my friend. We were all staying together and we were staying at a friend's place. So it happened that she came from work late that night and she wanted to make us lunch because it was our last night together. Sorry, she wanted to make us dinner. So we ate about 10, 11 in the night. So we bought the space cake, had it sitting there because we had to eat before because we really didn't know what was going to happen. We wanted it like a dessert, you know. You eat your meal, you eat your dinner, and then the dessert. So I made like 4 slices because I was thinking, okay, when I eat the first slice, if I have like a bad reaction, then I don't eat anymore. But little did I know that this doesn't work like that. When you eat space cake, you don't get a reaction immediately. It takes time to soak in. I had a flight at 7 in the morning. I had a flight at 7 in the morning. So of course, that was a bad idea. So I ate the first slice and I was like, oh, I don't feel anyway. It's okay. It's normal. And we chatted and laughed and, you know, and I think my friends, they took a bite as well. And then I was like, let me eat another slice. So I ate another slice and it's just nothing. It's normal. I feel okay. So we had a great time. And this was about 1 a.m. in the morning now. So I had to wake up like 3 o'clock, get prepared, go to the airport, whatever. So by the time you know it, I ate all my space cake. Done. Didn't feel anyway. And my friends were laughing. I think they knew. They knew what was going to happen to me, but they didn't tell me. So they were like, they called me Munchie. They were like, Munchie, you don't feel different? I'm like, no, it feels normal. Anyways, I went to sleep about 2. So I had like 1.5 hours of sleep. I woke up in the morning. I was like, that space cake was rubbish. I feel normal. So one of my friends walked me to the bus stop because I had a flight. So I left the house about 3:30, I think 4 o'clock, to drive to the airport. So he brought me to the bus stop and it was cool. It was still cool because it was about early autumn. So it was very fresh in the morning. So I felt alive, awake. Anyways, guys, I went on the bus, said my goodbyes. I think it was two of them who walked me to the bus stop. So I said my goodbyes. Yeah, I went on the bus, and on the bus, something felt weird. I felt a little bit sleepy. So I thought it was because I didn't get enough sleep because we were chatting all night, eating, whatever. And I thought, okay, this is probably because I didn't get enough sleep. But the bus ride was about 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And I realized that slowly, I wasn't feeling myself. The people next to me, they were like a family, and I was feeling really sleepy. You know when you're really extremely tired and sleepy? I was feeling this. By the time we got at the airport, usually I know my flight number, I know which gate I need to go to. So by the time I got at the airport, came off the bus, I knew something was definitely wrong because I could not remember my flight information. In Amsterdam, when you go in the departure lounge, there's a big, there's a big board where all the flights are flashing, and that flash kind of triggered something in my head, and I started to get a little bit paranoid. And I was thinking, okay, I need to find my flight. I need to stand up. I feel like I'm going to fall. I really feel like I'm going to fall at this point. I have 2 hours to check through custom, go to the flight before the flight flies to, I was going to Zurich. So I finally figured out, I don't know how I figured out that my flight, the gate is D whatever. I remember I was walking there and somehow I was seeing people, but in my head I was saying there's nobody in the airport. The airport is empty. There's just somebody in my head telling me that there are people sitting in that cafe. There are people sitting over there. And I was going up the escalator, looking in the cafes, and I was saying, nobody's in the cafe. The cafe is empty. But there's someone in my head telling me that the cafes are full. I don't know what was going on. Anyways, I got to the custom, so it's time to go in now. And I am flipping, but trying to contain it. I was by myself. At one point, I was in the queue and I realized that I was alone in one area. So I was thinking, oh my God, I need to tell the police officers. I need to tell the police officers that I took drugs. I'm freaking out at this point. Then I called Hanno and I told Hanno, I think I'm tripping. I'm tripping because I feel nervous and I feel like the people behind me are watching me. They're looking at me weird and they're keeping their distance. Something is happening. Should I tell the police? And Hannah was like, why do you want to go to the police and tell them? Just keep focus and go to the customs, show them your passport and go towards the plane. Then I called my friends and I told them, the ones I left in Amsterdam, I told them, listen, something is happening to me now. It's finally working. I'm paranoid. I think the people next to me, they realize that something is wrong with me. What should I go to the police? And they were like, no, do not go to the police. It's okay. Just get on your flight. To me, I thought it's best to tell the police than them see me behaving weird, you know? So, and then I was thinking, it's legal in Amsterdam, so they won't lock me up or anything. They will more protect me from what I don't know. Anyways, but I managed to get to the custom and I managed to keep a straight face. Like, I gave them my passport, took it back and walked straight to the gate. Guys, I got to the gate, but how, I don't know. I sat there and I knocked right out. The only thing I can remember hearing, I was sitting around people, obviously. I knew there were people there. But the only thing I can remember hearing was suitcases. But the sounds of the pulling of the suitcases were like, "Rah! Rah!" Different animals. And so I was sleeping and I was hearing animal sounds like lion, tiger, bears. At one point point I woke up and the hall was empty. Everybody's gone. The hall was empty. Everybody's gone. And then I saw the airline people closing. So I got up and started running towards the flight attendant, and I said, I'm on this flight, and she said, you're so lucky because you're just about to miss this flight. The flight is about to leave, and I'm there in the departure lounge sleeping. Having a good night's rest. Usually I would take the train home, so I would get to the airport, take the train home, but at this point I knew I wasn't capable of doing this. The most energy I had was to get onto that plane. After that, when I got to Zurich, I don't know what would have happened. So I called Hanno and I told him, listen, you guys come to the airport for me. So I got on the plane. How I got to Switzerland, I don't know, because when I got in my seat, I knocked out. That was a good thing for me. I slept through the trip, I slept most of the time. I can't even remember how I got to the car, but I got to the car, then knocked right out. I came home and I was like, you know what? I'm tired. I'm gonna just go to bed. And I slept and I woke up the next morning and I was laughing at myself. Did not know what I was getting myself into. Only like 2 to 3 hours after, the paranoia kicked in, and it's so crazy that it kicked in while I was at the airport. I could have been locked up. This thing is serious, guys. It is serious. I'm not encouraging smoking. I'm not encouraging weed. I'm not encouraging the consumption of space cake. I'm just simply sharing my experience, the experience I've had with this, and you know, to tell you to be careful. The moral of my story here is, do not assume that this cake is a normal cake. It's not a normal cake, and it has different effect on different people. So for some people, you might be calm, you might sleep it out like I did. It just happened that I had to be alert to go through the airport, but I think if I was at home, I would have just slept it off. But because I had to be alert, I had to be awake, I really felt the difference and the paranoia of people keeping away from me, hearing animal sounds, kind of thinking that the airport was empty, when in fact the airport wasn't empty. When I'm thinking now, logically, the airport was not empty. There was nobody in my head telling me that the airport was full. There were people in the airport. If you ever want to try this, make sure you're in a safe place. Make sure you're not traveling to anywhere. Make sure you're staying home for a period of time. Make sure you're with people you trust and people you know. And I mean, I can't tell you not to try it because everybody wants to have their own experience. But if you try it, know that this can have a really drastic effect on your mind, you know. Would I try it again? No, I would never try it again. Because I don't know what will happen. I don't know if the next time it will tell me to jump off something, or tell me that somebody's running behind me and I should jump off a bridge. You know, this is how bad it is. It tells you, it makes you paranoid. So it tells you that something is happening when it's actually not happening. There were no lions, there were no animals in the airport. But for all I know, there were animals shouting. There were lions roaring. There were bears making, you know, so it's good. The paranoia is quite real. And yeah, that was my experience with space cake and tripping. And it so happened that I was traveling that same day. So do you have a trip story? I would love to hear it. Leave it in the comment section. I hope you've enjoyed my first story time. What a story time to be your first story time, but I hope you've enjoyed it, and yeah, I'm looking forward to talking to you in the comment section. Bye for now. Ciao. And guys, as I'm telling you the story, I'm having this same feeling that I had back in the airport. I even feel nervous because I'm like recalling the events. And Hanno just told me that it is normal to have this. Like when you've had a trip, you can, when you're when you're remembering it or you're sharing it, the same feeling comes back. and I can actually feel that feeling that I had in the airport in Amsterdam. Wow, this is crazy.